So what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. As always guys, I'd like to thank you for all of your support on the recent videos. They've been doing really well and I massively appreciate it. It's awesome to see so many of you guys joining this channel ready for FIFA 19. Over the next week or so I will be releasing, footage, gameplay from the FIFA 19 demo just to keep us going until FIFA 19 launches. But anyway guys, today's video is talking about why FIFA 19 is the most pay-to-win FIFA yet. And before some of you race to hit the dislike button and think I hate EA, that is absolutely not the case. I'm just going to be stating facts and giving my opinion on why I think it is. For the record, I'm actually looking forward to FIFA 19. It's going to be quite refreshing, to be honest. But just before we get into today's video guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you are notified when a video is posted, because YouTube won't actually send you any of my video notifications unless you do so. And with that out of the way guys, let's get right into today's video. So to start things off, FIFA has always had an element of it being paid to win ever since Ultimate Team was released back in FIFA 10. This is because the more packs you buy, the more players you'll be able to afford, and the more expensive players are the better players, meaning you're going to have an advantage over everybody else, because if you pump £1,000 into packs at the start of the game, you're going to have access to like Cristiano Ronaldo, icons, all the good players, while the other people are just like using like Anthony Martial and whatnot. Obviously it's become a bit easier to earn these players over the recent couple of years because of FUT Champions and the rewards that it gives, but you're not going to find yourself having one of the best teams towards like the first few months of the game. Like if you put money in at the start of the year, you're going to get your team instantly and everybody else's team's going to suck in comparison, and you're just going to have a massive boost, meaning you're going to be able to win a lot more games. This doesn't mean you don't have to be skilled with the players you use, but it does give you a huge advantage. Now I know I've said FIFA has been paid to win in the past few years, and it definitely has, but the difference between the top players that you can get in Ultimate Team like a few years back and the gold players in the game, it wasn't as great as it is now. Like all the way up to FIFA 15 and 16, I believe people used to use like different silver players, and there were still very viable options because they were just as good as some of the gold and legend players. Don't get me wrong, the top tier players were still much better than the lower level players, but there wasn't as much as a difference as there will be in FIFA 19, which I will explain in a minute, meaning that the game wasn't as paid to win. Like let's say back in FIFA 15 for instance, let's say there was like an Elite 1 player. I know FUT Champions wasn't in FIFA 15, but like this is like the standard of player we're talking about. Say there was like an Elite 1 standard player that was using a full silver team, and they came up against maybe like a gold 3, gold 2 player with a full legend team of the year team. The guy with the silvers would probably be able to beat them. And this is because, like I said, EA didn't really make much of a big difference between the lower level players and the god tier players, meaning they were still like able to, compete with each other. Now as the years have gone on and FUT Champions has been introduced, there's still been like people that can use the lower rated players and still perform very well at the game, but it's definitely true that the better your team, the bigger advantage you have nowadays. I don't think it was the case as much in FIFA 17. I still used a lot of different players, even some of the lower rated players, and I was performing just fine. I was still getting like some of the elite ranks and stuff. But if you had some of the top players in the game, you could probably add about 4 to 5 wins onto your weekend just because of how good the players are, It was definitely more of the case in FIFA 18 than FIFA 17 because stats just seem to make way more of a difference. Like if you had like R9, let's say, up front, you just put so many goals past your opponent just because like the higher rated players seem to do so much more than they did before. In FIFA 17 and 18 there was a lot of meta gold players. By this I mean we had players that performed very well with lower ratings but with a low price as well, low-ish price. Just to name a few, for example, we had like Bakayoko, we had Martial, we had Gabriel Jesus, we had Leroy Sané. All lowish rated cards that were quite cheap and had very decent stats at the same time, meaning they were meta. Like for example, how many Bakayokos did you come up against in the weekend league? You must have come up against at least 30 a weekend. And this is just because it made sense to use players like that. They were very good players and they were also cheap. This meant that FIFA 18 wasn't as pay to win as people suspected and isn't as pay to win as FIFA 19 will be. Now, the reason I think FIFA 19 is going to be the most pay to win FIFA of all time is purely because there's hardly any gold, low rated or cheapish cards that are going to be usable in like a competitive environment. And this is because EA have completely killed all of their cards. They've reduced their shooting, their pace, their dribbling, their physical. Like players like Vidal have lost 18 pace. And I know I made a video talking about the reduction of pace on the majority of players in FIFA 19, and I know I said that it gives you more of a variety to choose from, and it does, because all of the players are equally bad. Like 90% of gold players, like we're even talking the higher rated ones, are complete garbage. They're all terrible together. Like the majority of all of the cards in FIFA 19 are completely terrible compared to the icons and the top players. So because there is a select few cards in the game that are really good and the rest are trash, it really isolates them. Cards like Prime Cruyff and Cristiano Ronaldo are going to be absolutely miles ahead of any other gold card in the game because their pace is way higher, their shooting is way higher, their physical's way higher, their dribbling's way higher. Every stat is going to be way better. So because there are only a select few cards that are actually good, it's going to be easy to establish who they are, and their prices are going to be absolutely like through the roof. I imagine Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be more expensive this year than he was last year, just because there's no other options. Like there's nobody that is anywhere near as good as that. This is what makes FIFA 19 the most pay-to-win game yet, just because all of the other cards are so terrible and all of the good cards are incredibly good. There is such a big difference between them. Like if you have icons in your team, you're going to have a huge advantage over somebody that can't afford them, just because the stat difference is so incredibly great. Like the pace is going to be much different. Every stat is going to be so good in comparison to the gold cards. So like I said, because of this, the good players are going to cost a lot of money. We're talking in-game money and we're also talking real money. Now there's probably a few of you that think I'm contradicting myself, like when I made the why EA reduced pace on players video, because I said in that video that there's going to be more usable players for people and a bigger pool of players to pick from. And I stand by that, because players like Vidal are going to reduce in price massively than last year, meaning more people can get their hands on him. You can afford to use some of the slower players because there's not that many rapid players in the game. And you might be thinking, if all of these cards are terrible and there's only a few good cards in the game, everybody's going to get the good cards and that's all you're going to see. But there's only going to be a select few people that have all of these good players because of their price. Like people aren't going to be able to afford all of them anyway. Unless you're somebody like Bateson who puts like 200 grand into FIFA every year, you're not going to be seeing these cards. Or at least a full team of them until the game has aged a bit and people have had time to earn rewards and, you know, purchase them. So this gives everybody a big pool of players to pick from with equally terrible players no matter who you pick, and should increase the variety of players used in teams. Now, to back up my point about FIFA 19 being paid to win even more, because of how bad these base gold cards are, when EA, you know, push out promos, team of the weeks and inform cards and stuff like that, you know, they're going to increase their stats a lot more. So people are going to be actually wanting the informs, and because people want them, their prices are going to increase so much, meaning people are going to have to open packs to be able to afford these players, and it's just a big money fest. I hope what I've said makes sense. In short, I'm just trying to say that the top players have such a great difference between them and the not so good players that it just gives you a huge advantage if you actually have these players, meaning it's pay to win because you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get them. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. If you have enjoyed it or found it informative, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and turn on notifications so you're actually notified notified when a video is posted, because otherwise, like I said earlier, you won't be able to see my videos when they are first posted because YouTube won't actually send you them. Also, be sure to comment down below whether you agree with what I say. I do read every single comment, even though I can't always reply to them. I'm just interested to see what you guys think about this video. Also, be sure to leave any video suggestions you like down in the comment sections. I am looking for new video ideas and I'm excited to, you know, create some new content for you guys. But yeah, with all that aside, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.